Hey, welcome back to the podcast Con los Osos. This is your host, Teddy. And today we're going to switch things up a little bit. I brought a special friend of mine, Dionney.
What's up, everybody?
A.K.A. El Borracho.
Let's take a little drink before.
What up, buddy? How you
I'm
been?
ready now.
Chilling or what?
Good to see you after a while.
Straight up, you've been gone for a while,
I
dog.
have been. Too much work.
Yeah, that's good, though.
Can't
So,
complain.
the reason I have this guy here, he's a really good friend of mine. You know, how did we meet, dog? Bullshit aside, how did we meet?
I think we've known each other through the soccer community for a good while. I could go back at least 8 years that we've known about each other. And
I was your ídolo, ¿no? Todavía soy tu ídolo.
I guess you could say we were competition in a way.
No way, because
There's no way
really.
you were, hell no.
Not really,
I was not
no me
competing against
llegabas,
you.
no me llegabas, güey, ni a los talones, güey, neta, güey.
So it really came down to us meeting.
I think it was just
through
mutual
COVID.
friends, no? Kind of though, like
Right,
because
just soccer
because of
community.
soccer community and stuff like
Right,
that.
but like us actually like getting to hang out, it was during COVID when
We shouldn't have been out doing anything.
right, and we were out every weekend. So yeah, it started with Mariscos del Borracho.
Allegedly.
It started with Mariscos del Borracho. It was a
If
time
you know,
where,
you know. If you know, you know.
really. It was a time where work was really slow for me, so I needed to find a way to make money.
Yeah.
And I knew I was good at something. So I started selling mariscos on the weekends, and I hit up my boy Andy, and he's like, "Hey, bro, like I want to join. I'll help you
Shout
out."
out, boss. Shout out, boss.
And then Andy and I, like, we did it for a few weeks, and we're like, "Fuck, it's just doing good." Like, but we feel that people are asking for a little bit more.
Yeah.
So
And at
they
that time, like it was doing you guys started doing the trays and like all this
right,
shit, you know, the
yeah. But
ceviche.
people were asking for
For
like
micheladas,
micheladas.
yeah,
And then
yeah.
one day, Andy and I, we go get lunch together,
Yeah.
and then out of nowhere, he's like, "Bro, like we gotta start adding micheladas, but we need somebody that could run around and do that." And then like he's like, "Teddy," I was like, "Bro, that's the perfect person." So that's when we hit you up. Sure enough, you said yes. We started doing this, and then like it just went well, and then that's how we got to really know each other. And then like obviously Mando Único was included in that.
Those times, bro, with the mariscos, those were good times. What should I say?
Definitely.
Like if the people I know, you know,
the struggle brought us together.
Yeah, straight up. It was what the three borrachos
real.
and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, peep the shirts. Por eso me emborracho. Hashtag. Por eso me emborracho.
Salud.
Hey, how did you come up with this?
Fuck. So I think my drinking problem, because I used to have a drinking problem. I think I've
You
bettered
taking control
myself.
now.
Yeah, so it started way when I was 17.
Yeah.
My father passed away
Mm-hmm.
when I was 17, and I can still remember like exactly how it happened. Not how he died, but like how they told me.
Yeah.
So my father was in Mexico. I was here, and after soccer practice at the high school, my best friend Abraham's dad, he like comes up to me after practice. He's like, "Hey, I'm gonna give you a ride home today," and I'm like, "All right, cool. Like I guess it's in the way. Like why not?"
Mm.
And he takes me home with my friend Abraham, and like the car was like silent the whole way. So I'm like wondering what the fuck, like what's going on. And then we get to my house, and usually when I would get to my house at that time, it was like probably 7 p.m. My mom would already be there from work.
Yeah.
And she wasn't there, so we're sitting in the front porch. I didn't have a key at the time. And then, so, like, it was just super quiet. And then out of nowhere, Don Armando, my friend's dad, he's like, Dionney, a veces en la vida que pasan cosas
Yeah.
que pues no queremos que pasen.
Yeah.
And I had a feeling, bro, because my dad, he would call me every weekend. Y ya lleva como 2 semanas que no.
Yeah.
So, yo empiezo a chillar, güey. Empiezo a chillar, and the back of my house tenía una gate, güey. Pues yo ya me imaginaba lo peor. Cuando me dijo, tu papá falleció en la madrugada, dije, no mames. Yo me voy atrás en mi casa, güey. Empiezo a agarrar putazo a la pared, pobre pared. Me ganó, güey. Pero empecé a agarrar putazo a la pared.
Le
pinches
dices unos
knuckles, güey.
Dionneys.
Neta.
Unos putazos.
No, nada de eso, pero sí, agarré putazo a la pared y mi compa Omar, güey, Omar Méndez me manda un mensaje. At this time era cuando yo andaba activo en Facebook.
Yeah.
Manda un mensaje y me dice, güey, ¿cómo andas? I guess the whole soccer team knew, güey, but me.
Yeah.
Y pues yo andaba agüitado, güey. Me dice el güey, ahorita voy a pasar por ti. Y sí, güey, esa misma noche pasó por mí con otro camarada, Joshua Mejía. Y pues we're just driving around y este güey me dice, ¿qué quieres? Le digo, yo quiero alcohol, güey. Me llegó el puto dolor a mí, yo me quería olvidar del alcohol y pues tratar de no creer lo que había pasado. Y sure enough, ahí fue donde empiezan las highlights, güey.
The highlights.
Y pues cuando me llegaba ese resentimiento, güey, pues así empezó mi tomadera, pues. Y cuando empezó a llegar ese resentimiento, pues empieza eso de, pues me llegaba un resentimiento y digo, no mames, por eso me emborracho. Y de ahí siguió, güey. Y luego, sarcásticamente, yo lo empecé a usar para cualquier cosa, güey. A mí me cortas, yo voy manejando y alguien me corta sin poner la señal, puta madre, por eso me emborracho. Y así siguió, güey. Pero de ahí empieza esa madre. Y así empieza mi tomadera, güey.
Yeah. Y how do you... Of course it affected you negative in a way, soccer-wise, you know? Because, like, I could speak for us, like, that was our life, you know?
Right.
You know, like, soccer was our life, and shit, you know? We're both goalies, you know? We both were goalies,
right?
You know? And we played at a high level, too, so it's like, you think you would have done better if you wouldn't have, like, started drinking or what?
Definitely.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I feel like I had
something... Because even así, way, like, you were good. You know what I mean?
Right.
Not as good as me, but you were good.
So I had that opportunity in at the high school I went to at Fullerton High. Our high school was not very well known for soccer at the time. When I was there, my sophomore year, we go into this tournament, Sunny Hills. It's a summer tournament that they do every year.
Oh, I have a good story about Sunny Hills tournament.
That tournament, as a sophomore, we go in, and our first 3 games, we don't get scored on. And after that, like, it just keeps adding up.
Good defense,
good goalkeeping, a little bit of everything. So even though, like, it was a 0-0 game, a 1-0 game.
I wish we could play that highlight video.
So hold on. So it gets to the point where we're 8 games from the first game without being scored on. It was like 700 something minutes until finally Servite scored on me. We tied 2-2 that game. But like, when that happened, like, my name started coming around at the OC Register at the time. The new
OC Varsity.
OC Varsity, OC Register. So
it was a sports section, OC Varsity.
Yeah, so I feel like I did have good opportunities. Aside from the fact of from that, like, I knew I was a really good goalkeeper and like, I think what really affected me was my father's death, because my senior year, I started skipping school. I would show up. People that really know me, like, they would remember me with the water bottle, bro. Like, a water bottle with no fucking label, and I would have it with fucking vodka or tequila. And I would show up to school with that water bottle, and I would drink.
Por eso te emborrachabas.
Sí, güey.
Por eso te emborrachabas.
Yeah. But since high school, that started. And it came a long way until I finally stopped, like, drinking as much as I do. Like, I want to say, like, six months ago.
Yeah. What do you think, like, now looking back, you know, like, what do you not wish that you would have had at that moment, or like, just something you think would have probably maybe changed a little bit, or like the outcome or how you thought about it, like, what do you, like, wish you would have had at that moment? Like,
I wish I would have had a stronger mentality.
Like how? Like, what do you mean by
instead of me putting myself down and giving into alcohol, more like, I'm gonna do this for my father, you know. But my mistake was I had a weak mentality, and that's normal. Like, I think a lot of us have a weak mentality at certain points. Like, some of us, especially at that age, I was 17.
Yeah, but it's not more, sorry to interrupt, but it's not more of, like, weak mentality. I think it's also, like, at that time, like you said, you're young, you know, like, there's times where even though you don't want it, you need that guidance. You get me? And sometimes
a father figure, or
no, not quite a father figure, but, like, the people you surround yourself with. You get me? Like, you know, like, sometimes as a friend, you think you're helping another friend and stuff like that, but
definitely
deep down inside you're not, you know?
Right.
So it's like,
and
I think we went through that. I remember that we were just like, nah, we need to stop drinking as much, because, you know, like, nah, we're not helping this fall out.
Right.
And it's because when we were doing the mariscos, like, it was during the summer, hot. We had
8
temptation.
a.m.
We had the temptation there, the beers. So it's like, what, like 10 a.m. we're already drinking, dog?
He's
Like,
probably drunk already by 10
yeah,
a.m.
straight up. And it's like, damn.
But if I would have chosen a different path, I think I would have not given into alcohol, and I would have probably focused more on, like, after high school, there's college. I have more to life. Like, it's not just this. Like, whatever it was that I was in high school, like, everybody would talk about the goalkeeper at Fullerton High, like, being good, but it stopped there because of that. I feel like I did have more potential to probably, at the time, maybe not make it pro, because we didn't have that many opportunities that everybody has now. The USL, like, we didn't have that back then. UPSL, whatever it is, but we didn't have that back then. But I think at least a Division I college I would have got to, if I would have stayed committed to school and not drinking.
Honestly, yeah, I think you could have too. You know, like, and I speak for myself too. You know, like, I'm not trying to make this about myself and shit, but like I said, we're basically rivals before we met each other,
right?
You know, and it's like we're playing for good teams and shit,
good high schools,
and everything. So it's like we know the potentials we both had and stuff. You know, like me thinking about it right now, I can't even think why. Well, like, I think I talked about this with one of my friends. Like, what stopped me in a way was, like, I feel like there was a time where I just got obsessed with, like, proving people wrong.
I see.
Instead of focusing on the actual soccer and stuff. Like, I just got obsessed with, like, just people telling me I couldn't do shit. You get me? And like, knowing that I can.
Right.
You know, like,
you're more focused on
I was more focused on proving them, like, oh, see, look, I could do it. Instead of being like, okay, let's focus on getting better now, you know, like, stuff like that, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, I feel like that was, if you're not a goalie, you don't understand the bullying you go through your whole life.
Yeah. And
honestly, like, to all my goalkeepers out there, dog, like, my respects, because you need to be mentally strong. That's what I mean about. That's what I mean about you can't say you're weak-minded, because, like I said, if you're not a goalie, you don't know what we go through. You know, like, you could have a perfect game, bro.
That's different though. Like what I was talking about. Like,
I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean.
I see what you mean. And there's a saying, I believe it's from Iker Casillas, where obviously he said it in Spanish, but it was like, you could have 10 great saves in a game, but you make one mistake and that's what you get judged for. Yeah. And that's where a goalkeeper, like, that's how they see a goalkeeper. Yeah. So you could make 10 great saves, like world-class saves, and you make one mistake and you'll get judged for that mistake. Yeah. And it's like, that's how much pressure goalkeepers
too much pressure. And that's what I meant, because I also, like, say that about, you know, that I said the weak-minded stuff, and then because I go through the same thing too, like, in the way of like well, I deal with my anxiety and my depression and all that stuff. So it's like, there's times where it's just like, oh, you know what, I can't do this, you know? But then I think about it, I'm just like, like,
yeah, I can.
Yeah, I can. You're a goalie. Like, you're a goalie for more than 20 years. Right. Like, while everybody's putting you down, you still kept going. Right. You get me? And, like, I like to put that because that's closer to me. You get me? I relate to it more. Right. So, like, I like to put that as an example for myself, because it's like, I already know what it feels like. And I know you know what it feels like. Yeah, because it's like you just said, you could have 10 great saves, and just with one mistake, that's what you get judged by. Right. And that was our whole life, dog. Definitely. Like, everybody putting us down and all stuff, and that we never quit.
The one thing we would do wrong.
But we never quit. We kept going. We loved it. We kept going. And that's what I mean by that, is like, it sucks that as men, like, sometimes you feel like you can't talk to people. You get me? When you're going through stuff. And that's what I kind of meant.
You know what that is, though? Okay.
That's what I kind of meant with that question of, like, what would you would have rather have at that time? Like, I think that was more going to that of, like, do you think you needed someone to talk to, or you needed to express yourself more, or were you holding things in?
I think definitely, yeah. And I think that doesn't just apply to sports. It applies to anything.
To anything, yeah.
So I think nowadays, or ever since before, like, they expect a man to handle things themselves. And I don't think that's correct. Like, a lot of us, pues, sí tenemos sentimientos, and we have feelings, and we deal with things differently. like they say a man can't cry. Why? You're human. You have emotions. It's okay to cry. I say it's okay to cry because I used to cry. Fuck, I still do. Like, a veces que me da el resentimiento de mi papá. Like, in November, it's going to be 13 years.
Yeah.
So, in November, I always cry. Like, it still hits me, you know?
Yeah.
But as men, we're expected to take on things on our own without talking to somebody. And imagine all that pressure that's coming onto you with, like, you're taking it on your own.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's difficult. It's a lot. And it's good to have somebody that you can actually talk to that's not going to judge you.
Yeah, and that's the most important part.
Right. That's not going to be like, bro, stop being a bitch.
Yeah.
You know? And we get that a lot nowadays. It's very difficult to have
because
somebody that...
They feel like, I don't think they ever got that to them, you know? Like, they were never in that receiving part.
Right.
So they don't know how to handle it. That's what I feel like. I can't get mad at my friends when they do that because I think of it like that too, you know? It's like...
You try to comprehend where they're coming
from because maybe they don't know how it feels either. You get me? So it's like with me, and you know this, like I've always told you, and we've been like good with it and all this stuff, and I know we try to involve our friends too in talking about things, bro. Like, if we ever need to talk about things, we always hit each other up whatever it is, and as you know, in the confianza, you know, like we're not out there like telling each other like stuff, you know. So it's like you gotta have that confidence, you know, with the people you have around you and stuff. And I feel like that's really important, dog, because like the people I have around me, like my close people, like it's like that.
Right.
Like I tell them straight up, like, cause I went through it my whole life. Like I was that person that just bottled everything up. And when I snapped. You get me? And it wasn't a good thing. So it's like,
you can apply that to anywhere else in life, way,
and
even relationships.
It sucks, bro. Like when
you hold on to things so long, like, you just snap out of nowhere.
That also, and then when you feel like you don't have anybody to talk to, dog. Like even though you do, but
you're afraid.
But you're exactly
to get judged instead of being helped out.
Exactly, because it's happened to you a lot. So it's like that's what, you know. Like right now, basically the message of this little conversation we're having is just, you know, just. Don't be afraid to talk about shit, you know? But again, not make sure, you know, but, you know, just talk about things with people that, you know, you have confidence in and, you know, like, because you do feel way better, dog, because to be all stressed out, dog, like feeling like the world hates you and shit, like that's the worst, dog.
Bro, I've lost close friends to depression and anxiety.
Yeah.
Like they feel like they have no other way out, where it gets to the point where they think the easy way out is just taking their lives. And it does suck, bro. But I think that's where I meant to the point where we're not mentally strong. Because at the moment we're just thinking like we're going to get rid of this internal pain, but we don't think about the pain we're leaving behind.
Yeah, exactly.
And I got to cry at a few of my friends' funerals. Me
too.
It
sucks.
But fuck, I guess what I'm trying to say through this to anybody like out there going through anxiety, depression, it's normal. We all go through it. There's people that actually want to listen to you. There's people that will comprehend you. And there's better things out there in life. For a lot of us, we're still young and going through it. Like we're early. I just turned 31. You're still 29, 30. But 30, we have a whole life ahead of us. Yeah. Keep your mind strong, and like I said, there's always somebody that you can talk to, and just don't be afraid of that. Like think things twice. There's more to life. Like, bro, I wouldn't see myself at this moment like going through that again. I have too much to look to, like my mom.
Yeah, to lose. You have a lot to lose.
My niece and my nephew, like I fucking love them to death, and I imagine the pain that they would go through if I was to ever do something like that.
Yeah.
But it comes down to, I think, our mind's way.
Yeah.
Like we have to be mentally strong in order for us to like get to that point and be like, you know what, like this is temporary.
Yeah.
Like we have a whole life ahead of us.
Yeah.
You know?
And we're still here. Because like we we've been we've been down there, dog. Like you know, like that whole dog to get yourself out of that shit. It's
difficult,
and that's what I mean about like your support system too. Like that, to some people maybe not. You know, they like to do things on their own. You know, but like a other people like me, it's not that I need people around, but it's good to have like at least one or two
Right.
people around you that you know are there for you, you know, and
Mhm.
like when you're going through something, they're the ones gonna pick you up, and same thing
yeah.
with them and shit, you know. So like
The support reciprocates when you see somebody
Exactly.
there for you. Even if people are not there for you, you know yourself like you're that type
Yeah.
of person that will be
Yeah.
there for them.
yeah, exactly.
But yeah,
And we're like that. That I think
Definitely.
that's what like not brought us closer, but like just it was just relatable between us two. Like
hmm
we like to help out, you know, like
Yeah.
whatever we can help, we'll try to help out.
hmm
And if we can, we could, we're gonna do it.
Of course, y viene el corazón, güey, no
Yeah.
por publicidad o nada de eso, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
just the type of people we are también.
So, other than like you dealing with your like dad's death and stuff like that,
hmm
what else do you think like not triggered, but like how do you say it? Like gave in more to your drinking? Like was it like a past relationship, or like did you like any other thing that happened in your life that just made you go back to drinking more or something like that? Like
Definitely relationships,
Yeah.
like relationship problems that I had. I'm that type of person that if I jump into a relationship is because I see a future with that person.
mhm.
Like I'm not just gonna do it just to have fun for a few weeks or
Yeah,
a few
exactly.
months.
Yeah, you're not
So
gonna waste
I-
your
I-
time.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Not my time nor theirs. I'm not gonna do that.
Exactly.
So I do fall easily. Like I start to like somebody easily over the small things.
Yeah.
And obviously it hits when you get to a few months, 6 months, maybe a year, and you start like planning a future.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think it happens in every relationship. Like after a certain time, like it'd be nice if we get married here and there.
Yeah.
Like
Like you already see yourself
right.
together for a long time.
So
and
you
shit.
focus on things
Yeah.
like that, and then out of nowhere, like maybe it's not out of nowhere, like it was things that happened
Mhm.
between, and it got to that point where like, you know what, you end up breaking up. Like fuck, like I just had this whole future
Yeah.
plan with you, and now like goddamn, like where do I start off again?
Yeah.
And it's difficult to start off again. And I think alcohol was my
Scapegoat.
it was my escape, like
Yeah.
to going through a few heartbreaks, I could
You're
say.
numbing, you know.
But again, I was young at the time. Way I think at the age that I'm at right now, I think I've learned a lot to the point where I'm the most mature I've ever been, and I could handle things differently,
Ya era
better.
tiempo,
La neta, differently, better. And I don't need to run to alcohol anymore if something happens. It's just more like now that I've been through so much.
Cheers.
Now that I've been through so much, I think that I can just like handle things on my own. Like, hey, it's part of life.
Yeah.
You gotta move on.
Move on,
And
yeah.
by moving on, I don't mean like on to the next person.
No, it's like go ahead.
It means you work on yourself
Mm.
and you realize what you did wrong, so that you don't commit the same mistakes in the next relationship. And I don't mean like go on looking for another one. Like heal yourself first, of course. And then if something good comes along and you want to jump into it, like you gotta get to know the person.
Yeah.
And if you feel some type of connection, why not?
Yeah.
You know?
Like basically you're saying like don't just get into another relationship just to get over someone and
right.
shit. Yeah.
The reason why is because you're carrying all this trauma to somebody.
¿Y qué culpa tienen ellos?
Exactly.
Yeah.
They have no fault of you bringing in all this trauma. Like anything could happen, like them receiving a text.
Triggers.
It triggers you, like
Yeah.
who's texting us? Like
Yeah.
chill, it's my girlfriend or something like that,
Yeah.
you know? Like coming from a girl, it's my female friend.
Yeah.
And you're just like paranoid over
Yeah.
things. Like that's why I think it's important to heal before you jump into something
The
different.
PTSD. Está cabrona la PTSD.
Well, I don't know what that is, but
Post-traumatic stress.
disorder.
Yeah.
Oh, entonces sí sé lo que es.
Yeah.
No, but you know
it's just
what?
that traumatized. It's traumatized PTSD.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you know what? I think after the second one that actually hurt me, that's when I was like, I need to give myself time to heal. I need to love myself before I jump into something else. Because I'm not gonna go on to something not loving myself. Because how am I gonna love that person? You know, I need to feel better being alone first before I can take somebody else in. Because then I'm gonna be dependent on somebody else's love.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you're not even you're gonna depend on their love more than you're gonna depend on your self-love and shit, you know?
Right.
So you're not gonna know how to love yourself. So.
Ironically, I've been having a lot of close people to me, like coming up to me and like telling me their problems with.
Yeah.
Like relationship problems. So
that's my whole life.
And I know how to like right off the bat when they start telling me something, I already know what happened.
Yeah.
And a lot of relationships nowadays, let me start off with this. So I'm not sure if it's just in the Latino community, but a lot of men, if we're looking at our past, like a lot of let's look at my coworkers way. They're older men than I am. They're in their 40s, 50s. So they're comfortable with them being at work all day.
I'm sorry.
They're comfortable with them being at work all day, working 7 days a week, coming home just to sleep and hardly ever spending time with their wives.
Yeah.
You know? So, and they think it's okay it's okay to do that just because they're providing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think a woman is just to be left at home to do all your chores with. Unless the woman is okay with that. Like, they don't want to do anything else. Like, they don't want to have a career.
Like, you guys talk about it. And
yeah, but like, they don't want to have a career or something like that. Like, they don't want to continue school. Then that's fine if they're okay with that. But I think we need to understand that a woman needs attention, way. And when you're coming home super late, fucking 9 p.m. just to eat dinner and go to sleep and be back up at 5 a.m. just to go back to work, your woman's going to get tired of things like that. I have a lot of people that I've known, like they're always talking about, like, I bring the money home, like she can't tell me anything. Like, I could show up home like drunk and she's not gonna tell me anything. My food better be ready. My clothes better be washed and folded. And like, she can't tell me what to do because I'm bringing the income. And then they so I feel like all this it gets to a certain point where women are like, well, what the fuck? Like, I need a man in my life, you know? Like
yeah, you're taking care of me, but
right. But they also need attention. Yeah. They want to be told that they're beautiful every now and then. Like, they want to kiss on their forehead every now and then in the mornings. Like, when you come back, but there's people like they show up home like drunk way after work to the point where they just go to sleep and like, pues no le da atención a la mujer, you know?
Oh yeah, just to argue and shit.
Exactly. And I think the arguing way, it comes from that. It starts from that. Like, you're not spending enough time with your woman.
Do you think it could go, and not flipping it, but flipping it? You think it could go the same way for women towards men? Or how do you say, more, basically trying to say like more communication, no? In a way? Like you like
you don't prioritize your job and your friends over your woman, especially if you're trying to build a future with them.
Okay,
that's what I mean. So recently, I had this conversation with somebody that he works in my crew, not in my crew, but like around the same circle. So I had been telling him, because he would be drinking at work, and like I would be telling him like, bro, like that's not good. Like, you hardly get to see your woman. He has a daughter. Yeah. Like, you hardly get to see your woman and your daughter. And then when you show up home, you show up drunk. And you show up at 1 a.m. to be up at 5 a.m. and come back to work. Like, they need that attention too. I was like, you need to chill and you're drinking. And he's like, no, it's fine. Like, she's not going to tell me anything. 3 months later, he starts posting all these things on Instagram. It's like sad things. Like,
sad boy.
Yeah. I hit him up and I was like, what happened? And he's like, fuck, like, my girl, she was, like, I caught her with somebody else.
Yeah.
I don't think you can justify what she did because of that, but it's bound to happen when you're not giving your woman attention. It's bound to happen. And I think if I could give an advice to women or women, if you're not happy in your relationship, don't cheat. Like, just speak to your partner
or leave.
And leave. Yeah, it's better than cheating because you do hurt people.
Guys too.
You do. Vice versa, of course. Yeah.
We gotta put that in there.
And then you know what? It gets to the point though where some women do tell their man like, hey, like, you need to get your shit together.
Yeah.
Like, we need to spend time with you too. Like, you're always at work, and when you come home, you come drunk, like, just to sleep. Yeah. Like, you need to prioritize your family first over your friends and like hanging out, because what happens when that woman leaves you, way? Tus amigos, ¿qué te dicen? What do they tell you?
Well,
Like,
there's more
bitches. Let's go out this week and I got some girls for you. Let's go out and fuck some bitches. There's guys that actually want to have a future with that woman when they're really in love, and it's not that easy to fucking.
And that's what I mean about the whole your support system,
right? And those friends are not real friends, bro. Those people that tell you, like, let's go out and get drunk. We'll get some other bitches. Like, she's not the only one. They're not real friends, way.
No.
That's
being selfish.
Definitely.
It is, because it's like they just want your attention.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because, okay, so that same person that keeps telling you, let's go off and do this and that, when that person is in a serious relationship, they're not going to fucking be there for you. They're not going to be telling you, like, let's keep on doing these things. Yeah. They're not. Why? Because they're in a stable relationship now. They're not trying to lose that person. So now they feel what you felt when they were telling you, like, let's go off and do this and that.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? And, yeah, like, unfortunately, I told this guy, like, bro, like, I told you. Like, I told you a few months back, like, you need to relax. You need to stop drinking. You need to spend more time with your wife and your daughter. And he ends up hitting me up. And he's like, I don't know what to do, bro. Like, all I can do now is hit the gym and, like, fucking work out to hurt myself and, like, drink hardcore liquor. That's what it comes down to, when the better or the best thing that you could have done before was focus more on your family. Give your girl that time that she needed, that attention she needed.
More than the girl, the daughter. You get me, or the kid, or whatever. You get me? Because
I forgot there was a kid involved.
What I was thinking right now is, like, a lot of times we're like, they're little, they're not gonna remember, you know. But then when you sit down,
remember the most.
But when you sit down and think about your fondest memory of when you were younger, how old, you know, like, you're young. Me, I can remember when I was like,
when I was 3.
Yeah, exactly. And me too, like 3, 4 around there.
Yeah,
I remember shit. So it's like, bro, like, you really think they're not gonna remember?
Yeah, like,
they do. Like and, just like us, there's things that we remember, but we never talk about it.
Right.
You really think they're not gonna have things that they're not gonna tell you? Like, yeah, of course. Like, they see everything, dog. Like, kids are a sponge, bro. So it sucks, you know, like. But go ahead. What were you gonna say?
So, sure enough, this whole thing went on, and I asked him, like, what was it? And she was talking to someone else. Mm-hmm. He's like, I didn't want to investigate too much, but the other person was, like, texting them too many things that already implies. Mm-hmm. But he didn't want to jump onto that and, like, investigate. But it's so there's always, bro, as men, I think there's always gonna be dogs out there. We know. So right. So this other person on social media saw that this female was probably, like, posting things like their man's not always there. Yeah. They fucking jump on that. Yeah. They jump on that. All it takes is a few DMs when, like, you deserve better. Like, I could treat you better, and women fall for that. Like, women are so naive that they will. I guess it's vice versa too, but, like, I'm referring to this specific situation. Yeah. So people are so naive that they fall for that. So when they're not getting that attention from their partner, somebody else comes in, like, you deserve better. I could give you that attention. Like, let's hang out. They fall for it, and they end up doing that.
Is it because what they're looking for, they're giving it? You get me?
Right, but so, like I said, us men, we're dogs, and the reason why I want to, like, bring this up is because I have a lot of female friends, and I know in the future, if I do have a daughter, like, I want to look out for my daughter too, and so men will do that just to get in your panties. Way they don't want a real relationship with you. They'll make you feel beautiful just to get in your panties, and that's true. It happens all the time. I've seen a lot of my female friends go through it. I'm like, I fucking told you. I'm a fucking man myself. I know what's up. Y no creen. But then well, yeah, but you see it more like that in that situation. Like, men are more.
It's because I have to say it, though. I have to say vice versa. Because then we're gonna get attacked, you know.
Of course, but so, like I said, I was talking about this specific situation, this specific problem, and so my advice to this guy was, like, how much do you love your wife? You don't want to accept the fact that you feel like you know what happened, and I told him, like, if you really love her that much, you need to start off with you, to the point where you need to learn how to accept yourself. You need to better yourself, because you need to be a father figure to your daughter. and you need to be a husband to your wife. And I told him, but you can't go on like him hurting himself by going to the gym and getting drunk. Like, no, you need to start with your own mental health, because you can't bring that trauma into that if you're trying to make things better. So he did listen to me, way, and he's like, all right, well, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop drinking. I'm gonna try to better myself. And I told him, because he doesn't want to get along with his baby mama, and I was like, that's not affecting you, that's affecting your daughter. Like, in the long run, it's affecting your daughter, and we don't realize that way as parents. I'm not a father yet, but I see it too much, to the point where I learned from other people, but I don't think I could do that to my partner, like take away my child, or like not allow them to see them, because that affects the child way. And like, they grow up like they grow up with that trauma, like mommy and daddy are split. If parents don't want to be together, way, like co-parent co-parent and make
do what's
things
better
civil.
Do what's good for the child,
right? Like, sure, like they're gonna have split parents, but they're gonna be loved by both. It's not gonna be like, no, you can't see your son or your daughter this weekend, like
lying about each other,
right? Because all that trauma goes on.
Oh,
to
your
the
dad
kid,
does this, or your mom does this.
That's the worst thing you can do. Talk bad on your partner to your kids.
I hate that, bro. There's someone that I know is going through that right now and shit. Like, talking about it, like, someone, and like,
I think that's why I wanted to bring this up, because it goes on everywhere.
Yeah, like when I like hear, like, because I listen to him, you know, like, that's the best thing I could do, and the only thing I could do, you know, because like, so I listen to him, and then I'm like, damn, like, I wouldn't know what I would do in a situation like that, dog. Like, my baby mama, or like if I have a kid with someone, like them keeping that kid away from me, like, dude, that's the worst shit ever. Like, I wish I never go through that. And whoever's going through that, like, you know, things will get better, but, you know, like,
it takes two, though. Both of you got to work it out. You have to be mature enough to work it out, and not just think about yourself and be selfish. Like, you got to think about the child in between.
And that's what I was gonna bring up also. Like, fuck, I forgot. It was something about like the co-parenting and stuff like that. I forgot what I was gonna say, but it was just on the line of like, be mature. Oh, possessive. That's what I was gonna say. Okay. Like for your example, the guy, you know, whatever. Like, to me, I feel like he thought she was more of a possession than an actual, like, relationship. Because that's what I feel about a lot of relationships nowadays, that people get comfortable with each other. So it's like a possessive thing. Like, if I can't have you, nobody else can. You get me? Even though we don't like each other, but I think that's more I can't see mentality. Yeah, like, I can't see you with anybody else that's not me, even though I don't like you. Like, I cheated on you like 3-4 times, but I still can't see you with anybody else. Like, what kind of shit is that, bro? You get me? It's like, nah, it's like, bro, if things didn't work out, be a man. Be a man and be like, all right.
Like, don't take that person's happiness away
exactly.
just because you're selfish.
Wish each other the best and move on, bro. Like, you know, but that's how I've been seeing things, though, like with relationships and stuff. Like, it's more of a possession, bro.
Yeah. You know what, though? You do live better and more in peace when you know that, like, if you left that relationship for whatever reason and you see your partner being happy, bro, like, you live better at peace. Like, you're in peace, because you know you're not going through those arguments every day. Like, you're not coming home just to stress, and you're not stressing them out. I think that's the best thing you can do. Accept that you weren't meant to be. It doesn't mean that you were it could be, but I mean, it doesn't mean that necessarily you were the worst boyfriend ever or the worst girlfriend ever. It just means that wasn't your person. Yeah. And they found happiness somewhere else. Why not?
So talking about that, like me, not a philosophy that I have, but like me, I could be wrong, but there's a little slight chance that I'm wrong. Okay. I always say people don't change, like, at all. You get me? I'll take one with you.
People do change.
This is what I mean by that.
Why I'm not changing my alcoholic ways?
I mean, in relationship wise. Okay. Like, me, that little philosophy I have with her is like once we wake up, like, it's over. You know what I mean? Like, there's no second chance. Like, we woke up for a reason.
Right.
Like, and I say this because it's happened, you know, like there was times where even though I wanted to, you know, get back with, like, you know, but in my head I just couldn't, you know, because it was just that, like, we broke up for a reason. Like I already lost that trust.
Right.
It's like
it's never gonna be the
never
same.
gonna be the same.
No.
So it's
once
like
you try to force somebody to change, it's not gonna happen.
That and that's what I mean by that. Like that's what I mean about people don't change. You know, like you can't make someone change.
Right.
You can't. As much as you want, you can't. You could probably influence them into changing.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that they're not that same person they were when you first met them and shit.
Right.
Or when you found out that they were doing this, or when you found out, you know what I mean? That's what I mean by that. Like, and honestly, sometimes it's not that I regret it, you know, but yeah, there's times where I think about it like, fuck, maybe, you know, what if I gave them a second chance, or what if they get like shit like that, you know? But then I think about it, it's like, nah, like, like, nah, if I believe in something, yeah, exactly. If everything was good, then why did it have to come to this extreme of us leaving each other and shit? You know, like how do you feel about that? Like me saying that, like, do you see it like that too, or do you have like how do you see relationships, bro? Like
there's got to be communication first of all.
Like let me rephrase that. Where is it? Why do you think many relationships fail nowadays?
Because there's no communication.
That's a good. That's like
that's the main one. And people, and I consider myself too. Like from my past, I've learned communication doesn't just mean like you talk at the end of the day and like, how was your day? You have to actually comprehend the person. Like maybe their day wasn't the best and there's something like behind their head that's going on, and like you need to try to comprehend what's going on in their lives too. It's not just about you and like what you expect from them.
Do you think trust falls into that?
Of course. Yeah. And you know what? Like trust you built since the beginning. And when I say that you need time to heal before you jump onto something else, I've seen too many relationships where somebody breaks up after being together for 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. In 2 weeks, they have somebody else. They're already talking to somebody through the other relationship.
Yeah.
I personally would not be able to trust somebody that jumps onto a relationship or starts dating me or starts being sexually interactive with me after like coming out of a relationship in such a short time.
Yeah.
You're gonna do the fucking same shit to me.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like you gotta be smart. Like the what's the word I'm looking for? Whatever. Like you get all the the fuck am I looking for? The word. Where is it?
Where is it?
It's all the signs where fuck. So all the signs are there. And like I personally will not be able to, especially like I was saying,
you get
like
blinded, dog. That's why.
Right, but hold on, like you know how I was saying, like there's dogs out there like that are just willing to jump into when you know that a girl is hurting and you jump into something like that. Women should also know that guy's not gonna take you serious, like, you know. But as a man, you know for a fact, unless you're that dumb, where you think like, oh fuck, she just came out of a relationship and she's giving me all the attention now, like I'm gonna marry this girl. It's very hard to happen.
We have a lot of examples around this. That
definitely.
That
I've seen way too much. I've gone through way too much to the point where I think I know how all relationships work out. Where I could tell you right off the bat, like just you telling me something. Okay, she's talking to somebody else already, huh? Yeah. Or she's already fucking somebody else, huh?
Like, and it's funny, like how you said earlier, like you have more girlfriends than guy friends. Like same shit with me. It's always been like that. And so it's like we know how they think too. You get me?
Right.
So it's like when there's times, and I'll speak for myself, you know, but because I don't want to include you, I don't want to get you in trouble and shit. So it's like I know there's times where like, even though I didn't want to be in that situation, I was in that situation of like, she's my friend, but they have a boyfriend and shit. But even though as much as you imply that it's not that and stuff, and you even try to like retract yourself from them because you know how you would see it if that was your girlfriend. You get me?
Right.
So it's like I put myself in their shoes too, but it's like, how would I put it? Like, to me, how I would feel sometimes and be like, but fuck, I'm not doing anything wrong. You get me? Like, I'm not getting with another, but then I would be like, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah, because you wouldn't like.
Because I wouldn't, exactly. So it's like those situations, like that also teaches me of like, I can't trust
women.
Not women specifically, but like people in general. Because at that one, for that example, yeah, it's the women, but people, like in general, people, because I don't know if you have done it, but I've given like too much trust to people that I shouldn't have, and like, you know, you just get fucked over.
It's part of you though, bro. Like, that's the person you are. You're a good person. You have a good heart.
Thank you.
And unfortunately, like, there are a lot of us guys that I include myself because I'm that type of person. Like I told you earlier, if I jump into a relationship, I'm not just doing it for fun.
Yeah.
So good-hearted people, way, like we see things that way. And I forgot where I was going with this part, but
yo me la fumo y te afecta a ti, güey.
But yeah, like that's what it is, though. At the end of the day, that's what it is. Like, you have a good heart and you see a future with that person, to where you end up getting hurt with.
Yeah, and that's the shit. Is like, fuck, you're just like, again, like you start seeing the signs of like, if this chick did this, like they would hide you, you know, like they hide, and like, why? You're just like, fuck. But then you think about it, it's the same shit. Like, exactly. I wouldn't want my girl to, you know, do that. But then it comes down to the whole trust thing too. You know, it's like, I think I what I'm trying to get to is like, it takes more of me to trust someone now than back then. You get me?
Because you've seen too much.
Because I've seen too much.
Yeah.
You know, and it sucks because, like you said, like, and I'm just quoting you, like, you know, I have a good heart and all that stuff. So it's like, bro, I even though a lot of people won't, like, they won't agree with me, but I'm shy as fuck. I am. And you know, I'm shy as fuck.
I don't think you're shy. You just have anxiety.
Yeah, I have social anxiety.
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah.
It is, but that's still me being shy.
Okay, yeah, it's part of it.
So it's like that, and then, like, I just, how do I put it, like, that I'm more reserved, but it's harder for me to trust someone now, dog. Like, I love meeting new people, even though I have that social anxiety and all that stuff. I'm able to do this right now. Yeah. But if it's a crowd of people, like, I can't do that shit. And it's weird because, you know, like, when I went with Omar, fucking crowds.
But you sit in the corner, don't you?
Yeah,
it's
but
like me, bro.
But even on stage, bro, like, on stage, it was just like, fuck, like, that stage fright. I still get stage fright, and I'm not even doing shit. Yeah. You get me? I'm just standing there, you know? But it's like that stage fright, you're just like, fuck. So it's like, I love meeting new people, but even though that social anxiety pushes them away, like, I still don't regret. I still don't regret the people that I have pushed, quote unquote, pushed away because of that. Because I feel like if they were meant to be in my life, like, I would have been able to deal with my social anxiety, put it to a side, and actually like put effort into, you know, because I'm not gonna put effort into someone that's not putting effort into me. Right. You get me? So it's like, a waste of time. It's a waste of time, exactly. So it's like you said, all the experiences we've had, bro, like, fuck it. Now that we're in I'm about to be in my 30s, but not like old. That, like, it does, like, it just gets to you, dog. You're like, fuck, like, it's true. You know, like how you were saying earlier, like, that you wouldn't mind having a kid and like all that stuff, like, relationship wise or even life wise, like, what would be the main thing you would try to not focus on, but like try to get to them, like, hey, if you're a piece of shit, you're a piece of shit, but make sure you follow these things. Boom, boom.
In what way?
In like moral wise, I guess.
So with my child or with my partner?
Yeah, with your child. Like, what would you want your child to grow up like, having that mentality? You know?
I think if I was to have children, which I hope one day I do, well, not me, my wife. I think since the beginning, bro, I want to teach them to be good people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's part of the reason why I haven't brought children onto this world.
Mm-hmm.
That it's super easy. You could fucking have a baby with anybody. But I've always thought about that.
We can't.
Not with you. No, you don't have a womb.
No, yeah, we can't.
So, I think as a father way, I think I would want my children to grow up in a good home with good parents. And I'm talking about myself, the best version of myself, which I'm becoming, and my wife, so that we could both parent them together and teach them how to be good people. And by good people, I mean like knowing how to treat others. There's a lot of kids in school where they're fucking 4 years old and they're already bullies. Like all that affects other kids in the long run. So I think that would be my first. A lot of people know that I don't believe in God or anything, and I don't believe in religion, but that's still not gonna put me away from trying to teach my kids
what's best for them.
Right, and I think I would still teach them religion because they have all the right to like try to if they get to a certain age where they want to be like me and not believe in that, like that's fine. But as a parent, I think I have to do that, like try to teach them the better ways. And obviously, religion does teach you to be a better person, even though a lot of people that are religious are super hypocrites and the worst. But as a parent, I would that would be my main focus. To make
no comment on that one.
To make my kids grow up to be good people.
Yeah,
and that would be my main priority. And obviously, like part of the reason why I haven't had kids is because I don't have a stable home or like a stable income where I know that I'm going to be able to take care of them.
Yeah,
and I see a lot of people that there's relationships, bro, that are going through the worst, and they'll be like, oh, let's have a baby, like it's going to help us out.
That's what I mean about possession. It's like
because then you feel like you're possessing over that person because there's a child in between.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, that's
the biggest mistake ever because we've seen it so many times where it's like they don't end up together, dying. It sucks, because
it affects the child.
Yes,
people don't see that,
and we're not judging, them like no, like that was their decision, all this stuff, like your decision, quote unquote, live with the consequences, all this stuff.
Right,
but it's like.
It's my personal way of thinking, though.
Yeah, exactly. Like this is our opinion and all that stuff, but it's like we're close to us. We've seen people close to us that is just like that, Like, well, I speak for myself, but it's like friends that I had that just have a baby, and it's like they think it's gonna fix something and it never does. Like, it never does. Maybe one or two of them, but like out of like fucking 50, you get me? Like, not talking shit on the people we know, but it's like that. Like that's the sad reality of stuff,
right?
So it's like. The thing it's like right now I'm talking about myself, like how I was saying about like what would you want your kid like to live with and all this stuff, like morals and stuff like that, like like talking about myself and stuff. Like the thing I always talk about when I talk about my family, bro, like I only talk about one thing because that's what I want. It's not the only thing I want people to know about my family, but that's the main thing I want people to. When I talked about my family, that I want them to picture it like that, like my family, and you met my family.
Yeah.
Like every time you've seen my family, you basically see all my whole family. You see all my brothers.
Right.
You see all my sisters.
All together.
We're all together. And why? It's like we're not perfect, dog. It's like we're like every other family. We're not perfect. We have our problems, like all that stuff. But like the thing growing up that my dad and my mom always taught us was like, even though we're going through bullshit, like we have to be together.
That's your blood, and nobody else is gonna be there for you, like your own family.
We have to be together, and honestly, like I said, we're not perfect. We've had our problems and stuff like that, and it's like gladly we're still able to be, like right here, because like, and I'm not trying to compare my family to anybody else and all that stuff, like every family is different. And everything, but it's like I say, like we're not perfect, nothing like that. But that I can say that, like my parents really like tattooed that into our brain, bro. Like whatever's going on, it doesn't matter, Like, well, even if you're still mad at your brother, you're still gonna be at that family event that we're gonna be together.
That's still your blood.
You get me? Like we're gonna be together. So it's like we've gone through so much shit, bro. But that I feel like made me the person that I am now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because
you come from good beginnings.
Exactly. So it's like my dad, like, I'm not gonna talk bad about my dad. No, that's my dad. I love him, everything, you know, like my whole family, I love them. But it's like, how do I put it? Like, we're not perfect, dog. Nobody's perfect, you know? But what he did, like, impacting my life, dog, was just like, that's why I am how I am, bro. You know how I am. Like, I don't mind giving. You get me? If I have it, you know, like, the rare occasions that I have it or whatever, you know, like, you know, I don't mind giving. You get me? Like, I don't mind it.
Right.
And I get that from him. Like, there was so many times that, like, he would help people out and they would just turn their back on them, you know? Mm-hmm. And what would my dad do? Not, like, he'd just be like, not that he would brush it off. Of course, he would deal with it himself, you know, but my dad's old school, dog. You get me? So it's like, he's more to himself. I think that's where I get it. You know, that's
what I told you. That's where you get the good heart from your pops.
And
I'm not
also
saying your
the
mom
reserve.
doesn't have a good heart, but
no, my mom was a different story.
Too,
yeah, my mom's a different story. I love my mom, dog. But like, so just that, like, because my mom has taught me some other stuff. You get me? But right now, I'm just focusing on my dad because of that. Like, he taught me how to give, even without expecting anything. You get me? And maybe that's wrong to some people, but it's like, he wouldn't do it because he was forced to do it. Nah, he would do it because it came from him, you know? Right. And that's what that's the message I'm trying to get out. Right. Like, if you're going to do something because it's coming out from you. Don't do it because, like, damn, I feel forced. If I don't do this, then he's probably like, no, like, if you want to, do it
because you want to.
Because exactly. So it's like, I feel like that just got imprinted into my brain, bro. Like, just, bro, like, whatever happens, like, try to see the bright side of stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And just keep on moving. Don't let what some other person did to you affect what you could do to some other person. You know what I mean?
Or even for them.
For them, exactly. Because bro, like, one example, like, my dad had teams, soccer teams, bro. He's in clubs and all that stuff. So, like, for my whole life, dog, since I remember, and like, that's how we've always been, dog. Like, if someone comes to help, like, for help, like, comes to us for help, like, all of us,
it's just an hand.
Yeah, whatever we can, even if we don't know, we'll figure something out. And if we can, like, you know, sorry, but we'll just know we tried our best, you know? And like, I feel like that has got me, like, having that mentality has got me a lot of places, dog. You get me? Like, look what I'm doing now.
Right.
Like, you're sitting here talking to you on the podcast.
Over there.
No, but on the podcast.
My bad.
Mine and Osito's podcast.
I thought you were looking at the camera.
And it's like, look at the opportunities that has given me, having that mentality, you know? Like, always giving and not expecting shit back, you know? So it's like, fuck, like, I think that's one of the things that I would want, not just my kid, but my family too, you know? To have that.
Right. Like, right now you're trying to put out a message for people that can help them out, take in from it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, but it's just hard. It is hard. Because you get over it, dog.
Definitely.
Like, eventually you're just like, fuck.
But don't change the person you are, though. Like, because people don't appreciate you. Because there's going to be people who do appreciate you. Yeah. Like, even if it's not somebody you know how they say that it's always the people outside of your circle that actually support you. Somebody could be getting this message, like somebody we don't know, bro, and they could be passing it on to somebody else, and they could be
like paying it forward.
Of course,
paying it forward.
And I think, fuck, I could say that I've done a lot of bad shit in life, but if I could put on a good message to people, like, I think I did my part.
And then to kind of conclude, like, this podcast and stuff, like, do you have any pet peeves when it comes down to either, like, relationships or, like, friendships or just people in general, you know? Like, I don't know if I'm explaining my question.
In my personal life?
Yeah.
In a relationship way, I think a pet peeve would be like if my partner is too much on their phone when they're with me, which luckily the girlfriend that I'm with right now, bro, I have nothing to worry about, and I reciprocate the same energy. Like when we're together, it's all about us. It's all about her and I. We hardly ever use our phones, but I think that's one thing that would bother, or that has bothered me in the past. Like if I'm with somebody and like the times that we get to see each other, they're mainly worried about their phone or things like that.
It comes down to trust issues.
Right, and that's in relationships. In life issues, I guess fucking pet peeves are, I drive a lot, bro. I drive a lot for work. I'm always out of town. When fucking cars just cut in front of me when I'm going 65 and they fucking cut in front of me going 30 without a blinker. Like, okay, that's fine. You're gonna cut in front of me, but go faster than I'm going. I don't want to slam on my fucking brake because you're cutting in front of me. And you know what? It's usually fucking Teslas.
True.
They're not.
That's true.
They're not fucking smart enough to have their own blinkers.
That's true.
Like you Tesla drivers, you still gotta blink your blinkers.
Hey Tesla, turn on my left blinker.
For real.
Hey Elon, hit me up for that.
I don't mind people cutting me off, bro. But if you're gonna make me slam on my brakes, like no, that pisses me off. And I'm that type of person that usually doesn't get mad with stuff like that. But then in my head I'll be like, por eso me emborracho.
Por eso me emborracho.
You know what I'm saying?
Straight up.
And I can't do it when I'm driving, but I get home, that fucking Tesla cut me off. I don't know.
Hey, they give me damn, I'm still here. Good thing we're ending. But while I take the shot, do you have a final message to our viewers? What was your any consejos?
If I didn't give enough info on what we were talking about on relationships, one thing that I feel that every person needs to think about when because I've seen this a lot, especially like I've said in the field that I work in, construction. So guys are always talking about like they went off on this job and they ended up hooking up with whatever, somebody they knew out there. I think when you start cheating on your partner, it's because you're not attracted to your partner. So one thing that I would recommend, that when you jump into a relationship, you don't just look for what's good for you, like your benefits from that person to you. For example, like in the Mexican community, it's very common that men look for a stay-at-home wife that will take care of everything at home while they're out making the money. And so, like I said, they expect all their food, their clothes to be washed, etc., everything done back at home. But they're not physically or sexually attracted to their wives, which makes it easier for them to go off and cheat while they're off at work or anywhere. So one thing for sure I would recommend, when you jump into a relationship, make sure you are attracted to your partner, not just for physically, what they can bring to you. Definitely physically. I think that's crucial, bro. You gotta be physically and sexually attracted to your partner, because in the mornings, when you go off to work and you look over at your partner, bro, like you want to make sure want to make sure that you're in love with that person. Like you look at them like, fuck, like this is my wife. This is the reason why I'm going out to work. This is the reason why I need to come back home and spend that time with her. You know what I'm saying? Like
facts.
You don't want to wake up and be like, pinche vieja, like again I have to fucking go out to work while she fucking sits here and farts all day and does nothing. You know? Yeah. Once you start having that type of hatred to your partner, like that's when that cheating comes along.
That's when love turns into possession.
Right. And it's not justified by that, but a lot of people do it, bro. And I think that's one thing that we have to look at before jumping into another relationship. The girl that I'm with right now, she's a fucking blessing. Like, it took me almost 3 years for me to overcome my last relationship. Like I went through depression. I had anxiety, all of that. But
bro, sorry to interrupt. And I was gonna say this earlier. While I was around those, that's when we first started kicking it.
Yeah, bro, you guys didn't see it. Bro, I mean, you probably did, but you were one of those fuckers that were like, let's go get drunk. Ahí iba yo de pendejo.
Really?
I was there.
Really? You're gonna blame me?
You were part of it.
You're gonna blame me? Really?
I'm not blaming you, but
You're gonna blame. You would make me waste what we would get from the micheladas. That was done. That day, that night was like that money was done.
oh shit.
We would go to DTF
and
we had some nice thugs that. Woo, I wish we could play the video.
Where you took me home, fucking dragging me.
Damn,
but,
that shit.
Bro, I think that's definitely crucial. If you're sexually and physically attracted.
How did we go for that? My bad, bro.
That
was my bad.
If you're physically and sexually attracted to your partner, you're not gonna put your eyes on somebody else and be like, "Fuck, like a good time is gonna be worth it." Yeah. Hell no, you know what you have back at home, and I think that's crucial, bro. You need to look for somebody that you're again physically and sexually attracted to, and not just for the benefits of like I go out and make the money while my food is being cooked at home, the house is clean when I come back. And I don't think women should be expected to do any of that either. There's women nowadays, bro, like they want to have a career on their own. You can't be that type of man to be like, no, like you're not gonna do that. I got you. Like if they want to go off and do it, if they want to be a fucking nurse, if they want to be anything in those type of fields, I can't think of anything else, but a good career way, a fucking dentist or a law, something to do with law, anything in that.
Mesera.
A lawyer. No, mesera. Fuck no, mesera no mames. Like they do that for the money way. But like say they want a good
no
career,
offense,
like
no offense to our mesera friends.
A lawyer or something like that where like let them do it. It's probably their passion. They're not doing it because they need the money. It's probably their passion.
Sometimes they do though. I'm sorry to play devil's advocate, but
okay, when if you're that type of man though that's bringing in the income and there's nothing missing, like it's fine though. But if your woman wants to have that type of career,
yeah, of course, yeah,
because it comes from heart,
yeah,
then let them. Yeah. But a lot of men are like, no, like just you're gonna be a stay-at-home wife. I'll take care of everything. From there, that's when a lot of problems begin because they're fucking stuck at home doing things they don't want to be doing.
Yeah, and again, sorry to play devil's advocate, but it's like we've also seen the and we've heard too a lot of stories of when you like the men let the women, go do a career and all that stuff, and they end up fucking
cheating.
Not cheating, but like just leaving them because now they're doing better, supposedly to themselves. You get me? Like, so it's like how do you like come to balance with that?
So that's I guess that's one thing to talk about. So there's this saying that says that when men are making money, they think about bringing home the income. When a woman is making money, they think that they don't need a man. And by bringing home the income is like to their family. Mm-hmm. And when women are making money, it's like they think that they don't need a man. And I think that all comes from beginnings, from your family, like how you grew up. And a lot of women I've seen, like a lot of stay-at-home moms that don't have a career, they stay in a toxic relationship because they have nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
They didn't go to college, or they don't know how to do anything else other than be a stay-at-home wife or mom. Mm-hmm. And it's easier for a woman to leave when they have their own career because they could be on their own, right? So if I was to have a daughter and I was to tell her anything, like to try and better her life, is like have a career, something that you like, something as a backup. If your husband is gonna be bringing all the income and you're okay with being a stay-at-home wife, that's fine. But at least you have a backup in case anything happens, that you don't have to depend on this person.
Or pick up a hobby.
Yeah, definitely.
That gives you income.
Yeah,
like a lot of women have been doing lately.
Yeah,
they're starting their own little shops and stuff.
And then there's a lot of I've seen other couples too where they like there's no necessity for them to be working like the woman, but they want to do it just because they want to have a luxurious car, or they not just that, but like their man provides for stuff like that.
Yeah, but they want to feel like they're giving something,
or they want to have enough to. So say they're driving a brand new fucking Nissan Altima, just to say.
Yeah.
But they're not okay with that. They want to drive a new fucking Mercedes. So in order for them to do that, they have to fucking go off and work.
Yeah.
And they go off and do that shit. Like, there's no necessity for that, especially if you have kids. Like, for you to put your kids into daycare just because you want that nicer car.
Yeah.
So it's different ways, like
priorities.
Right. Like there might not be a necessity for that person to be working, but just because they want a nicer vehicle or nicer shoes or nicer dress or that the man can't provide, even though they're providing for rent, food, they go off and they do things like that. Like that. It's all
wanting a lifestyle that they can't have.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I totally get that. So
to each their own though. Like I can't. You know,
these are again. These are opinions.
It's an opinion.
These are opinions, and
it's my opinion. You don't have to take it, but if it helps you, then I'm glad.
So we're gonna wrap this up, bro.
Mm-hmm. Let's take another shot.
Yeah, hell, that's what I was gonna say. Before we leave, take another one. But this has been a cup, and honestly, bro, I'm glad we haven't seen each other in forever, bro. I'm glad we're able to have this conversation.
Al perro Tesla, güey, que se me metió hace rato. I was going on a 35. I was going 60, güey, and a fucking Tesla cut in front of me going like 25.
No, you were going 60 in la school zone? Yeah. Like I was saying, bro, we haven't seen each other in forever. Mm-hmm. I'm glad we're able to have this talk, bro, and because you've been hitting me up for one of these podcasts for a while, and we've been planning it, and honestly, like, I really liked the way what you wanted to talk about and all that stuff. So I was like, yeah, and then what more to be more comfortable with, like, doing it with someone that, you're comfortable around. We know each other and all that stuff. And honestly, bro, thanks again, bro.
Thank you for having me,
bro. It's been a good 5-6 years
that we've known.
Yeah, that like we with Mando Único, the micheladas, everything. Like, damn, in those years, bro, I think a lot of adventures we've been through, a lot of ups and downs.
Definitely. And
good thing we're here, bro. And again, like, giving a message out to people, like, I appreciate you, bro. Like, you appreciate people you have around and stuff like that. And you've done a lot. You might not see it like that, but you've done quite a lot, bro, like, for me and stuff like that, and I appreciate all you've done, and I'm glad, you're my friend right now, bro, straight up.
Appreciate you.
Because, like I said, we knew each other, but we quote-unquote rivals, all this stuff, and then to be as close as we are now, like, it's just weird how the world is, like, how shit is and all that stuff, and honestly, like, I'm glad everything turned out how it turned out now, and we have the friendship we have now, and
of course,
and I appreciate you, bro. To be honest, I do.
Hey, I think to conclude this way, because a lot of people probably feel offended, I forgot to include. So, in of everything that I spoke about, there's a lot of women that put up with a lot of shit from men, and it's not just a woman's not gonna snap over a weekend. Way it's shit that's been coming on over a long time. So they warn you at first. They don't just leave, or they don't just do anything. They don't just leave. So
they give you signs.
Right, they give you signs, and it's like, hey, like you're doing this, and that. I'm not okay with it. Like, all right, whatever. The man will be like, all right, whatever. Like, I'll stop. The next weekend, you go off and do the same thing, and you keep doing this until the woman gets tired of it. And it gets to that point where, like, you know what? Like, I'm done with you. The fuck? What do you mean? I've been telling you. Like, you're not giving me what I need, like the attention that I need. You prefer being out with your friends. You prefer being out drunk. You prefer doing this, and that. You prefer your job. You prefer your truck, your vehicle over me. Like, I need attention too. And like I said, it's not just something that they get tired of, like, right off the bat.
It goes vice versa too.
Of course, yeah. But so here's the thing, though. When it gets to that point where the woman wants to walk out, that guy is going to be there begging, like, give me another chance. And you know what happens? So that guy is going to, or vice versa, you're going to go off and that person's going to go off and do good for 2 weeks and expect everything to be okay in 2 weeks. You've been doing this for how long? Years, maybe? Perhaps months? But it's mainly like I said, I don't think a woman gets tired of things over a few months. It's been years. So like you expect them to forgive you or like gain that trust back within a few months, and it doesn't happen that way.
Yeah.
So you say you go off and do good for 2 months way. Like you stop drinking, you're spending more time with your wife, and then something comes up, hey, my friend's having a party, like it's just guys or whatever, even if it's just like girls, something happens at the party, like say you took your woman there and your woman's tired at a certain time, like, hey babe, let's go home. Like, come on, it's my fucking friend's birthday. Let's just stay for a little bit longer. They'll be like, okay, that's fine. And they it gets to the point where they get too drunk excessively, and you're back at zero way. Like anything happens, or they allow you to go out with your boys, and you're like, I'll be home by 2. You show up at 5 a.m. or at 2:01 way, like that. You're back at zero. So I feel like when guys need to realize first where they're fucking up before they just try to blame the girl, because women give you signs, bro.
Yeah.
Like they tell you from the beginning, like, hey, you're fucking up, like I'm not okay with this. And then it's like any I try to compare it with any disease. Like they don't just come out of nowhere, or sicknesses, my bad, because diseases can come from
Anyway.
right. So like sicknesses, like for example, my stomach ulcers, it's a long term. It could be my drinking. It could be my shitty eating. Like I eat a lot of spicy food. I don't drink water. So I was diagnosed with stomach ulcers. So here's me with like I go 2 weeks eating good. I stop drinking alcohol, and I'm eating fine, and I'm like, all right, I should be good. And then I start fucking eating spicy food again, and I feel it. I was like, fuck. Like it came right back. I'm back at zero instead of going.
Yeah.
You
So
know,
yeah.
So it's like that, bro. So when your woman tells you, or your man, vice versa, wherever the problem is coming from, when they're giving you hints like, hey, like,
Partner,
this is not okay.
Toes.
Yeah, this is not okay. I think that's when you need to start realizing, like, fuck, I'm fucking up.
Yeah.
Right? And like, don't let it get to that extent.
Yeah. Basically, communication is key to everything.
Definitely.
To everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, for certain.
Yeah. Like and friendships.
That's what I was trying to get to. So try to comprehend your partners. Don't just leave it off as like, whatever. It's like, they'll be fine next week. Because then it worsens the problem. Believe me, it makes it worse. And the last thing you want is to have a bad communication with your partner. I wish you all well. Anybody that's going through anything, just know that there is hopes for everything, but you got to put in your part too.
Yeah.
Like, don't just expect the world to get better just because you want it to. You got to put in your part. And I'm speaking about this like with anything that's going on in life, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a job, anything. All right.
And also surround yourself with good people. Make sure they're good people, because there's a lot of people that know how to disguise.
Right.
And know how to wear masks. They know all this stuff, but bro, like, you don't know how far a conversation with your homie could go.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You know, so it's like, the last thing I want is, and I'm just saying it in general, for someone close to me to do something harm to themselves just because they felt like they couldn't either talk to me or talk to someone, you know? So it's like, that's basically our message today, you know? It's like, we all have problems, and it's like, we just need to learn how to focus and move on from them, and just by surrounding ourselves with good people and good vibes. Like I always say, positive vibes only.
You know Papi Gordo, right? Robert? That fool's been a blessing in my life, bro. I think I met him, I want to say, for real, shout out Papi Gordo. I think I met him 10 years ago, bro, and it was through the soccer industry, like how I know mostly everybody. So this guy, since the beginning, fucking super cool guy, since the beginning, bro. And recently we always kept in touch in a way, but we didn't get to hang out like that over the years. Yeah. And then recently, shout out to Mitzi for bringing RDM together. She brought us back together, bro. And like when Robert and I saw each other, it was like when we first fucking saw each other. Like we were bonded like this,
I
bro.
love
Like
that
we're
guy.
literally family. Like, we're blood.
I love that
So
guy.
this guy, I know he's been through shit, and he knows I've been through shit. Like he knows the stuff I've been through, and he's
Literally.
bro. He's been there like for me. He's that type of person. Like I know he's been through like depression and stuff,
Yeah.
and he's the first one that's always there. Like, bro, he'll send me messages out of nowhere that will make me feel better, like make my day better, bro. Out of nowhere,
Yeah.
he'll be like, "Hey, papas, like I hope you're having a good day. Like this is just me reminding you that I love you. Like, bro,
Yeah.
that shit fucking means the world to me.
Yeah,
Like,
hell yeah.
I could be stressing out over work, and then this fool sends me a message like that, and I'm like, fuck work, you know? Like, this shit will be
You start
temporarily,
skipping and
but
shit now.
literally,
Yeah.
But you know, like a message like that, bro, and I'm very grateful for Robert, bro. Like he's one of those people that I love that fool. I love you, Robert. You know,
Shout out Papi Gordo.
but things like that, bro, like I think it makes you know that there's somebody there for you.
Exactly, and that's what I was trying to focus on. If check in on your people, dog. You
For
know?
sure.
Check in on your people because right now we're going through shit, you know, in our circle. You get me? And it's like we don't know what's going on, but it's like fuck, like sometimes you feel like it's hard to check in on someone, you know, because you don't know how they're gonna take it and shit.
Right.
But forget all that. Don't fucking.
It doesn't.
Don't
take
think.
anything.
Don't overthink it. Check up on them. Send that message. If you want to tell someone you love them, send that message.
Of course.
Trust me. Trust.
You could change someone's life.
Trust. Like, not that only. You like. We don't know how long we're gonna be here, dog. You get me? So it's like, send that message, dog. You know, like, tell that person. Like earlier, I told you. When have I told you that? I have never told you that. And it's not because I'm a dick, nothing like that. But it's like you know, like I'm more reserved and all that stuff. But like that was me being honest, dog. Like I appreciate you, and it goes out to all my like close friends. You guys know who you guys are too. I appreciate all you guys.
Andy,
you get me? So it's like check up on your friends, you know, because lately mental health has been bad, bro, for everybody.
definitely.
And it's like I've been seeing it too much, you know, people doing harms to themselves, and it's like you never know, dog. You never know. It's like you said, you're going through shit, and the homie Robert doesn't even know that you're going through that shit. He just simply sends that text because he just wants you to be reminded.
Remind me, yeah.
And it's like he doesn't know the impact that he did for you at that time, and that's what I mean about the whole impact. Of send that text, bro. Just send it. Call that person. Just know that if you already called them like 20 times, it's harassment after But saying that, I just want to say positive vibes to everybody. You know, like I said, send that
again.
before. Yeah, for sure. And then we're gonna end this because we're gonna get to.
venimos en Uber.
Ya vino tu Uber, güey. Tu vergazo. Cheers. And with this, we conclude today's podcast. Salute to everybody. Like I said, positive vibes. Hope everybody has a good day. If you're watching this at night, hopefully you have a good night. And this was the podcast Con los Osos with your host Teddy and the homie
Dionney.
El Feonel. Cheers.